Make it so, number one.
All right.
Commence primary ignition.
For Tuesday, August 4th, 2020, it's the Serenno Squadcast, the official podcast of the Serenno Squad.
From Mrs. and Mrs. America, wherever you may be. Eat snacky s'mores.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the podcast. Today, we've got a special guest with us. We've got
special
guest, Sean Hubbard. Also, we've got Paul.
Hello.
We've got Wayne.
Old hat.
And we've got Evan.
Hello.
And I'm Gunnar. So today we're going to get right into it with the Legion News.
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring him in when it doesn't.
That is the 501st Legion.
Legion News.
All around the world.
All right. So Legion News this week, we had one of our first, for some of us, troop of this year almost.
Our first troop in 5 months.
5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a good one. It was for a good cause.
Yes.
And today we've got Sean to tell us a little bit more about it. It was like a backpack drive kind of thing where you guys had shoes. I guess you had school supplies in those backpacks, all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
Had kids coming through the drive-thru. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's our 14th year of doing the back to school program. It's a little thing right there.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Busted out the hat for it. Yep. It started out as just really just a backpack full of school supplies. And by the third year, we added shoes, partnered up with a company called Samaritan's Feet. Started by a man named Manny Ohome. He's from Africa, and he pledged to put 10 million pairs of shoes on 10 million kids in 10 years.
Wow.
He came pretty close to that. And I'm happy to say that we've helped him a little bit. We've probably been able to assist over the years, probably about somewhere in the ballpark of maybe 16,000
Wow.
or so.
Awesome.
This year we grew up to 17 sites. There's one in Welford, Texas. There's one in South Carolina. Then there's several more that's committed to Back to School 2021, including one in Louisiana.
I didn't realize this. I thought this was just like a local thing that you guys had put together. I didn't realize this was like a big.
Yeah.
It started that way. It started that way at one location, our location in Collinsville, and that's Southwest Virginia, right on the border of North Carolina. And we added maybe 3 sites and then 5 sites just in Henry County. And then I guess word got out. We had people move away, and they said, we still want to be part of the program. So next year it's going to be even bigger. It just grows and grows and grows, and it's just an awesome thing. My wife, also a fellow Serenno Squad member, she was our site director, and she has been at our site for the past 4 years, I believe. So
Yeah, it was awesome. And when did the actual 501st come to be a part of this this drive you guys do?
So this year was really the first time. Adrian had the idea of, speaking of which,
Hey, there she is.
she, like I said, she is our site director.
The mastermind.
Now
Yeah,
we got to pay more royalties.
exactly.
Shoot.
I already pay enough for all of us, I'm sure.
Thanks, man.
She's our site director, and she's like, nobody's gotten the opportunity to troop really at all in 2020. We had to move our whole program outside. We made accommodations. She kind of redesigned the whole flow of it, took over the parking lot and made it work. It was all her idea, and she did a great job. But she's like, let's reach out and see if we can, give a little extra to these kids who've been cooped up at home for so many months. Who wouldn't want a stormtrooper to hand you a backpack and a pair of shoes?
I thought you were talking about us.
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was
Maybe
awesome for us to get out there and to troop. It was just as exciting for us, I think. But yeah, it worked out kind of nice how you guys were kind of forced to move outside with all of the, everything going on. You don't want people that close inside, indoors and stuff like that. And then also it was a way for us to troop safely. We were outside, we were distant from everyone. Some of us even had, masks on under our helmets. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to dress out because I had a malfunction, my belt. But
Which,
Sean,
by the way, I can fix that for you.
yeah, and I think I'll get you to do that. I do have a kit. I do have some snaps, but if you've got one of those Chicago screws you're talking about,
I think it just needs a new screw or a rivet.
yeah.
What happened to it? Did the screw come apart or?
Yeah, the rivet came apart on him.
Yeah, I don't know if I just mashed it too hard whenever I put it together, or if it was just cheap or whatever. But I pulled the belt out of my bag and it just got hung, and I continued to pull, and it just went ping, and I saw it fly past my head, but I couldn't find it.
I can tell you right now, your belt's nowhere near the string. My belt's on.
Yeah. Well, that other than that, it was really awesome to go out there and see the kids. I'm pretty sure they were twice as excited to see you guys out there. Stormtrooper, Tusken Raider, TIE Pilot.
I got to see both ends of the spectrum. Do my normal daily duties or on the big event day, as far as making sure things run smoothly and kind of a utility role, because most of my work is done before the event at the 2 registration dates. We started basically like a PHP website to handle all the registration, and we dump it over into a spreadsheet, and that's how we order our shoes. That's where the heart of my work with it lies. But on that day, I'm usually just kind of a problem solver. Something needs to be changed, or somebody ran out of this, or Adrian needs something. Usually that's what it is. But it was a little more relaxed, which was all weird, because we usually never move or never stay still. There's always so many kids, and we only had a third of them this year, and that really was kind of downer. But it gave me the ability to dress out too.
Yeah.
And if I didn't stay in that Stormtrooper costume for 2 minutes, then it was worth it. I stayed out there. I stayed longer than everyone else because they dressed out a lot quicker than I did. Because I waited till I was done with what I needed to do, and then I said, "Let me stay out for just a little bit more." Joe was saying, "I'll stay with you if you want." I said, "No, I'll be right there. 2 minutes. 2 minutes." And as 2 minutes came, and I was looking, there was one car trickling back into the parking lot, and there was a boy. He was in elementary school. He actually happens to go to the same elementary school that Adrian works at. And she knew his name. She told me what his name was. I walked up to the window and I started talking to him. His name was Nicodemus, and he was a huge Star Wars fan. I mean, just so excited to get his backpack handed to him through the window by a Stormtrooper.
What a surprise too.
Yeah.
I didn't see my own Stormtrooper in person until I was 25 years old. To see something like that, as a kid still in school, I would have gone nuts. So it's more than just than just having fun. You're actually you're probably making a mark on that person's life, especially that young at an age. It's them seeing something that you don't see every day, and in the the situation that you guys were in, you were helping them out. You were giving them something. It makes it way more worth it, and it makes the trooping feel a lot more meaningful than just dressing out and goofing off. So I really enjoy being a part of these events, and I hope we have more of these in the future. And if you guys do more of that stuff,
Yeah,
you're
count on
already
it.
in it, so there's
Yeah.
no way that you can't. We'll probably find our way there somehow. But
Yeah, count
Cool.
on it every first Saturday in August.
okay.
What was the turnout like? Was it decent?
Well, we kind of already had a good idea of that it was only going to be about a third of the kids that we normally had. But over, 4 hours, it was like a steady trickle of cars. And then sometimes we'd get 4 or 5 at the same time. Sometimes there would be 2 lines of 6, and then most of the time it was just a little trickle. Nothing like it normally is. I imagine anything post-pandemic will be a lot back to what we're used to seeing as normal.
Yeah.
Because typically our site alone, we serve just about 500 kids.
What are you doing with the with what's left over? Because like you had them for specific kids if they didn't show up.
Some did. Well, so we did those 2 registrations. So we had an idea of how many things to prepare. And we also do, at the end of the big day, what's called an open registration. So anybody that missed the 2 registration dates, we basically have extras that we go through, and they come in, and I kid you not, just about 10 times out of 10, we have a pair of shoes for that child.
Right.
And, with 20 different sizes, that's nothing short of a miracle.
It just works out.
Yeah, it just works out. What we really like to do is do a second round. We've got enough supplies and backpacks to go.
Hey, I'm down. I got the times totally screwed up. I so wanted to do that. I was so excited to do it. And then I woke up and was so disappointed all day because I screwed up. So yeah, if you want to do a round 2.
Yeah, maybe when the kids go back physically into school, maybe we can kind of give them a power up, resupply.
Power up. Okay.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I had a good time, and plus, I'd never been to Collinsville before, so that was just an hour drive for me. But it was nice. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I told my sound man about your Billy Strings hat. He was super excited.
Yeah, you got to be excited about Billy Strings, and if you're not, you need to get excited because he's the bomb.
I'm not, and I refuse to get excited about Billy Strings.
Yeah, coming from the
I don't even know
guy
what that is.
that always poo-poos on my Grateful Dead.
Oh,
No, the Grateful Dead do that themselves.
There we go. All right. Well,
dead coming now.
cool. Well, Sean, is there anything that you wanted to put out there as far as what you guys do or what your plans are here in the future or anything like that?
Yeah, so if you want to know a little bit more information, a little bit more in depth, or even connect or reach out or get any type of sponsorship forms, a lot of people take those and take them to the place they work. I know several do contributions every year. And honestly, we didn't pay a dime out of the back to school budget this year because of just people giving, which is amazing. If you want to do that, you can go to the website. It's gob2s.com. So gob2s.com.
Cool. Yeah, and if y'all have any more of these events or anybody else is interested, give the 501st a call. We'd love to come and help support and get the kids out there and get them excited about what's going on. So.
Yeah. I think I don't know if I mentioned it, but I think Adrian reached out to Paul about making it a troop.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
That was definitely awesome.
Yeah, I guess if they don't call us, we don't do anything. That's how it's been so far.
Well, she doesn't need to, though. I mean, she's one of us, so I mean that's.
Well, if anybody else is trying to do an event like this, this is it's a good way to go to get some
Yeah.
troops out there.
Yeah, and with us being in different counties and possibly different states, it may not be on the same day.
Right.
For example, the one in Floyd is this Saturday instead.
Okay.
So I was telling
Gotcha.
Joe that since he lives in Floyd County.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Awesome. All right. Well, Sean, did you have anything else you wanted to say, man?
No, I thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for coming
I
on.
enjoy these.
You're going to have to join us for another one.
Yeah,
I say
that'd be
stick
awesome.
around, but that's just me.
Yeah, I need to go. Adrian's in the middle of a couple of meetings. Somebody needs to crack the whip and get the boys in the bed. So
I hate being the one to be like, all right, time to go. But
I know I'm usually the one keeping them up watching a game or something.
Right.
What do you
I'm
do?
just glad to see your face, Sean.
I know that's
Yeah.
the way I feel about you guys. I got to see Gunner this past weekend, but you three, definitely miss you all.
Hold on before you go. Let me show you something.
Oh, what do you got? Show and tell.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Shiny.
Ooh.
look at the mirror.
Yeah.
reflective.
Put the new sticker on. Then went with the new color scheme this time. It's a little bit darker.
Those are so mirrored. I thought I was looking straight through it.
Yeah,
Yeah, right?
That's what I thought too.
And that's how it should be. And then I've got the other one for, okay, this is an official troop. Okay, just Velcro that in. I'm done.
Oh, Velcro.
Nice.
Wow. Very
That's cool.
clever. Very clever.
Cool.
Wayne, I went more blonde for Sabine.
I saw that. I saw your picture of it. I was gonna post something, but every time I do, you get super self-conscious. And I'm like, I'll learn.
Well, I've learned to adjust to that. I keep getting called Scarlet. That's the one that makes me most self-conscious.
I bet that does.
I see it.
Don't say that.
I'm just saying, I'll bet it does.
I didn't until you said it. I didn't think it, but
Now,
you
when
said
they
it.
call you this, do you like go up on their neck, spin their arm around, bring them down to the ground, or?
No, but our pastor called me that right in the middle of church when he was talking about back to school. He goes, and here's Scarlett. I mean, Adrian. I was like, thanks. I'm in church trying not to, say mean things to my pastor.
He sounds like a
Frankly,
fun
my pastor, I
guy.
don't give a damn. Oh,
I'm sure my husband did good talking to you guys about the back to school program. I'm sorry I could not talk. I was happening to be in 3 places at once at
oh
7
no, you're
o'clock.
fine. You're fine.
Very impressive. Some Doctor Strange stuff.
I'm
Actually-
I'm super upset that I missed it. That I'm not gonna lie. I woke up.
Missed you.
I had in my head that it was 11 to 2, and I was like, cool. And I woke up at 8:09. I was like, right on time. I was getting ready to jump in the shower, and Gunner sent me a message. It was like, are you on the way? I was not yet. What?
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
I'm
oh
almost
God, he
here.
doesn't know.
Why are you almost here? And I typed in the thing. I pulled it up on the thing. Oh.
Well, if it had been 11 to 2, Evan would have showed up.
Yep.
Are
I
you
did
guys
miss
doing
y'all.
this weekend?
This weekend I am hosting a wedding dinner. One of our friends are getting married in October, and everything for their wedding plans have been canceled because of COVID. So we're doing like a private little dinner party at our house and kind of throwing them a small shower. So I have that this weekend.
So that's a no?
Yeah.
I didn't hear no there.
What time is it supposed to be from?
11 to 2.
Oh, actually, then maybe we could do it because the dinner's not till 5.
What is going on?
That's my child touching my head. This is what you have to look forward to, Gunner.
Oh, yay.
The 9-year-old and the 10-year-old's combing my hair.
Oh, 9 years.
He's 9 and almost 9. He'll be 10.
I am 10.
I'm sorry. He'll be 9. He is 10.
Yep. We're just about to wrap up. Did you want to say anything about back to school real quick?
I don't know what you said, so I don't want to repeat it.
He did a great job.
You said everything.
They said I did a good job.
No, I think you're good.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all for joining.
It's about the 6th year leading our 14th year doing it.
I did 14 and I did messed up. It was her 6th year leading it. I'm sorry. Not 4, not 5.
That's way more.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
All right.
All right, Hubbards.
All right, yeah, y'all have fun.
We shall try. Thanks again
Hopefully
for
I'll
having
see
us.
you this weekend. If not, I totally get it. It's cool.
Yeah.
And you got
Come
the whole
back
family in
anytime.
that one room, even the dog.
It's super hot in here. Yeah.
All right, Sean. Well, we'll talk to you later, man. Have a good
All
evening.
right. Sounds good. You guys are the
Bye.
same. See you. Good to
See
see
ya.
you all. Good to see you.
That sounds like a
Alright.
Yorkie.
Yeah, Lexi is saying goodbye. Goodbye, Sean.
I'm going to turn my own camera back on. I'm like, am I still in frame?
You are
Yeah,
still
I'm
in frame.
turning
We're
mine
still
back on.
here.
Since
Yeah.
we have fewer people now, so
Yeah,
Why
we
not?
have a little bit of an issue with the gallery view. Cool.
I already know
Well,
what I look like. If you've tuned into this, you're disappointing yourself. I don't need to.
so before we end the Legion news, do we have any other events planned or scheduled for
Yes.
the future here? We do.
next weekend, well, this coming weekend, I should say, in Blacksburg is
That's
a
right.
hospital morale booster. Is the only way I could think of to describe it. Of course, the staff of the hospital are stressed and overworked and dealing with everything. So they said it would be nice if we could come by and cheer them all up because they loved it when we came by to visit the kids.
That's awesome. I hope everybody is. I'm sure everybody will be safely.
Yes, they did tell me that this is not a COVID hospital. They don't have any COVID patients.
Okay.
If they do get if someone does show up who's potentially infected, they would send them to a different hospital.
Gotcha. Well,
And all the staff goes through all the proper daily checks.
Mhm.
So,
temperature test, all that good stuff.
yep.
Nice.
So that is on Saturday.
Cool.
Yeah, and that rumor has it there may be a droid there.
Yes, this might be the first appearance of the Serenno Imperial droid.
Oh,
What's his
my
name?
goodness.
C2S1?
Something like that, yeah.
Wow, that is. Who would want to miss that? I mean, all the patients at that
You,
hospital listening right now, they must be so excited. But no, that's great. That's awesome. That's something to look forward to. Other than that, anything else in the future, or is that about as far as we've gotten?
That is as far as we've gotten. Let's see. I think there's no other events have been received. The next thing that would be on the calendar is Big Lit Comic-Con, which, like any public event, I would say may or may not happen. It's scheduled for Halloween weekend.
Yeah, Halloween.
Yeah. So
That's a. Whew.
that is a. I don't envy anybody who's working in that business right now.
Yeah.
It's stressful enough in normal times. I can't imagine what kind of stress they're dealing with right now.
That's where it should be, right there. That's where I can see. With the hoses, where they're supposed to be.
Beautiful. He's so excited. He's in Wayne's World right now. All right. All right. Well, then moving on to our next
top story.
Excuse me, that's the wrong franchise.
I think I don't care.
So, top story this week, I had, I didn't know really what to go with, but I went with the Comic-Con 2020, which was available to people at home. Is this the first year that they've ever done that they've made it so that all the panels are available?
Yeah. In previous years, certain panels were not live, but they would be released later. Like for the last few years, if you've bought like Arrow or Flash or Supergirl, any of the CW hero shows on disc, one of the bonus features was you would get their Comic-Con panel.
So it's like an exclusive thing.
Yeah. Comic-Con doesn't like to give out their panels, which I don't understand because Celebration does a live stream running the whole weekend that the con is
Yeah.
going on, and it's freaking amazing. It's
I love that live stream.
yeah. If like when Celebration was in Europe, and obviously we couldn't go, that's all I did all weekend is I just turned on YouTube and let that thing just play and would watch like, hey, it's Warwick Davis interviewing Mark Hamill, and oh, it's the music of the Phantom Menace, and it's just they would
Sounds
just
like an event.
yeah. So it's just a ton of fun, and so I never understood why other cons don't do that. So I was very happy with the Comic-Con was doing the Comic-Con at home coverage. Although the way they did it was a little weird.
Yeah, it was hard for me to find the things I was looking for. I didn't know where to start when it came to the, like you were talking about there being just one stream where I guess they would have panel after panel after panel, and it was just one video, one stream or whatever. I felt like you had to go through hundreds of videos to find what you were looking for, and I wouldn't know where to start to watch all of that.
Yeah, it was all on the Comic-Con YouTube page, but they had I don't even know how many there were. There were hundreds of videos.
Yep.
I mean, just over the course of 4 days, they put out so many videos. Like, I wanted to find something. I was scrolling for minutes trying to find like the one I was looking for.
Yeah, I had the same issue. And when you typed in, Star Wars, it was very slim, which there wasn't that much going on right now anyways. I think just because of, everybody's kind of exhausted from all the Mandalorian, Clone Wars, all that stuff going on right now. I think they're probably taking a rest and not too crazy about putting out stuff, even though they did announce some new things going on.
Well, they pushed a lot of stuff back a couple of years at this point, like a year or two. And from what I can tell, a lot of the announcements they would have made like this year at Celebration, they've essentially just pushed everything forward so they can continue to announce it either at the next Celebration or maybe at Comic-Con next year or something. But there's going to be a weird interim for seems like maybe a year because they pushed back all the High Republic stuff. The only thing that's really coming out is Mandalorian, and then we got Bad Batch coming at some point.
When you say they pushed back the High Republic, you mean the novels and the comics and all that stuff? They pushed that back?
I think it was supposed to drop this year. Paul, is that right?
I saw it got delayed, but I didn't think it was that big of a delay.
Yeah, I think they delayed it till early next year. I want to say that they were going to drop everything in January or something.
I'd have to double check that.
I have a computer right in front of me. Let's check.
What's a computer?
Down the rabbit hole he goes.
Here we all go together.
I know some of it was delayed, but I think the first book was delayed a bit. I thought it was only like a month.
Let's see. They pushed the two flagship novels back to January and February 2021. So Charles Soule's Light of the Jedi and then a middle grade novel are going to be released January 5th. And then Claudia Gray's young adult novel Into the Dark is February 2nd.
Wonder why they would
be.
Sorry.
I can be your Jamie pull it up guy.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to because everyone would probably, everybody knows who Jamie is, young Jamie. But no, you could do that. You could be our fact checker guy with the computer.
I can. I mean, like literally, I'm just sitting here right in front of my computer. So
even I am too, but I have so many things pulled up to make this happen. I couldn't even. I get lost. It's like a jungle.
This is as far into this as I'm going to go.
He's got to. Yeah,
but this is one of the few podcasts I know of that will check facts. Then just throw that out there.
Yes.
Fact checking's overrated.
It's true. It's okay. No, you're doing a great job. That's a good idea.
I know.
So that's
also
getting pushed back.
there wouldn't have been a whole lot of Star Wars news even in a normal year because Celebration was scheduled for the end of August. So that's when they were going to do all their big announcements.
Yeah.
So I think they might still have some of that stuff planned for later this month. I think that's when we still might see the marketing push for certain things start to happen, like our first look at Mandalorian Season 2, any teases about anything upcoming, Kenobi, Cassian, any.
I really hope we get some Kenobi knowledge. Like, I know that it's still on, and they hadn't started filming. Is that correct? It was still in pre-production.
Yeah, they hadn't started anything yet. I think right as everything started to kind of fall apart in the world, they delayed the show because they were supposed to start filming this summer. And I think they took the time to go over and rework the scripts a bit to make sure everything's tighter.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and we may end up with a better product at the end of it. It's like you can follow some video games and they'll be delayed. Like the Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed for months and months at this point. I think it's on its like third or fourth delay, but even though it kind of sucks at the time, you may end up with something that's even better at the end. That's what I'm hoping for Kenobi and Cassian and whatever else has been delayed, like the next set of Star Wars movies.
Yeah. Like all Star Wars movies got pushed back a year. Well, we still don't know anything about those movies. Is it Rian Johnson's movie? Is it Taika Waititi's movie? Is it something else? So.
Yeah, the book panel that they had, was that probably one of the only panels that there was as far as a Star Wars panel, the one that you sent?
I think so, yeah.
Which was it was really good.
Yeah, I think that would have been about it because, like I said, I mean, there's no point for them to make any announcements to then just be like, oh, hey, next month we're having our own convention and we're going to announce a bunch of stuff there too.
Right. Well, they didn't do as much announcing as they did a little bit more, I guess, kind of behind the scenes of the writing and stuff. You had the authors there kind of explaining how they thought or how their process went. And you had Greg Pak on there talking about the Vader comics, which was pretty cool.
His Vader comic is really, really good and highly recommended right now.
It's got like a lot of interesting characters that we're familiar with but never saw too much of. They talk about that. They had Tom Engelberger. I'm not sure what his name is, but he's
Engelberger. Yeah.
Engelberger, yeah. He's writing these novels. He's already written one about the Wills. Are you guys familiar with the Wills?
I know the journey. They're the Journal of the Wills. Isn't that what the Star Wars was supposed to be called originally?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think it's George Lucas's idea of these beings that like feed off the Force or something like that.
Feed off the Force?
Isn't that? Yes.
What?
I think is that not right? I don't know.
I know George Lucas's plan for episodes 7, 8, and 9 involved like this meta story about like the midi-chlorians and like it was almost like at the end of Men in Black where you see like the Earth is just inside like some marble,
a snowflake or something.
Yeah. It was gonna be something like that where the Star Wars universe was like inside another universe or something. I read through some of it and I was like, I don't know what drugs he was on at the time, but I'm pretty sure they're highly illegal.
Yeah, the guy, that Tom guy, he's a weirdo.
He just finished watching that season beginner of Dallas, and then he watched the final Staying Elsewhere, and he was all like, I got it.
Maybe that was his inspiration.
It probably would have been, if you've watched Clone Wars, there's the Mortis arc, the 3 episodes where they're kind of dealing with a lot of weird stuff about the Force. It probably would have been closer to that.
Yeah.
Right. with
It probably would have been dealing with a lot of weird like mythology and the
father, son,
larger
and daughter
aspect.
I can
stuff.
follow those. I can follow those episodes way better than the episodes of Rebels where they're in the space in between the space.
The world between worlds.
Yeah. What the hell?
It's all connected. It's all part of the same ideas.
Yeah, I know.
I like the world between worlds was really cool. I wish they would, if it had expanded into like the main storyline a little bit better, where it could have maybe explained some stuff that was a little bit confusing. Like I know a lot of people before Rise of Skywalker came out, they were hoping that Palpatine being reintroduced would have something to do with the world between worlds and going into like that deep Force lore, but it just didn't end up being like that.
If you take this with a dangerous amount of salt, the leaked script treatment for Colin Trevorrow's Episode 9, which was tentatively called Duel of the Fates, in that the whole third act would have been on Mortis, with like Rey and Kylo assuming the roles of like the son and the daughter. And
Whoa.
So I looked through, there was like an album that had like all of the concept art and explained what it all was. And some of it was interesting. Like I really liked him reintroducing Coruscant and having like this First Order occupied Coruscant. I thought that was a really big missed opportunity. But there was some weird stuff in there. Like the weirdest one was Hux committing seppuku with a purple bladed lightsaber. I'm like, where did this come from?
Yeah. And the concept art being on All About Coruscant, that's part of the reason why we haven't really dealt with Coruscant in any of the supplemental materials or anything, is because it was supposed to be a big part of that movie.
That would be cool for like another animated show or something, just to show because I mean everyone at this point is probably begging for Resistance era stuff, which surprisingly we're not really getting yet. But I mean it was a couple of years after the Clone Wars came out that we started getting like Clone Wars era stuff, like really good Clone Wars era stuff. So maybe in a couple of years we could see an arc where Resistance fighters are like basically copying what could have been in that movie, like Resistance fighters fighting these there was like big huge like First Order machines and like floating cities and stuff. It was really, really interesting. Like I would love to see that in a future thing.
Yeah, I think now that the movies are finished, they can flesh out that timeline a little better, because they don't have to worry about like, oh well, the movie JJ just changed his mind and now this is happening at the end of the movie and we have to rewrite this entire season of scripts.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so there's a few things going on, but the book panel, that was all right. As far as any more Comic-Con, there was what I was gonna actually put in our recommendations. They had an evening with Kevin Smith. Did either of you guys watch that?
I haven't watched that yet. I keep meaning to, because this stuff's always entertaining.
It's the whole entire thing is, I mean, 50% of it is beep, 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 beep. He just swears the whole time, and they beat the whole thing. But it's very entertaining, and he even talks about how they are remaking the Masters of the Universe series, cartoon series.
Coming to Netflix probably next year.
That is super cool. I never really, I never watched it. That wasn't really my decade. But as an adult, going back, watching these shows that are about these older shows, and a lot of these, they kind of have things that I'm interested in kind of have a little bit to do with that. A lot of the toys, the manufacturers that made, certain Star Wars action figures and stuff like that, they would use sometimes, models and action figures from other companies, use their bodies and stuff and their legs and just add on new heads and stuff like that. I think the Gamorrean guard Are they don't they have the body of like a wrestling figure?
No,
Ooh.
it's
Or is it
what
the
is-
opposite?
It's the other way around. The Gamorrean Guard was reused as Friar Tuck for the Robin Hood toys.
Yeah. Yeah.
They basically
yeah.
just changed the head.
Yep.
Wasn't
So-
Luke Skywalker really buff in one of those figures?
Power of the
Yeah, that
Force.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
the
the
Power of the Force ones, those first came out. Everybody
Those-
here was a master of the universe.
Yeah, those were my action figures. I grew up with Power of the Force, man. I had all those. They made no sense at all. They had like weird backpack attachments and
Yeah.
big. It
That's
was
what
just
this
weird.
is. This is Han Solo and Carbonite Power of the Force.
Oh
you
yeah,
see
you
how
can tell.
just
Look, he's ripped.
jacked
Is
he
he?
is.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. This is the ideal body type. You may
Yeah, it's
not
like-
like it, but this is what it
it's
is.
like Jet Li under there. But I thought
They're getting
that.
ready to put him in the thing. And, I love you, and he goes on a roid rage.
That's the director's cut. But no, I've watched episodes and stuff like that, and you see where that world is kind of connected, even though Masters of the Universe is a whole nother thing. Star Wars was another thing. They were all a part of this crazy, merchandise kind of war where everyone's trying to come out with the best action figure, or they came out with just to sell toys. They made entire series, right?
Yeah, like Masters of the
Like-
Universe, or
Yeah.
G.I.
Yeah, I was
Joe,
gonna say.
or Transformers.
Yeah, all of those
Little
existed
Pony.
to sell toys.
Some of them like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I know that one started as a comic, but that one was so successful it kind of turned into something else, where it was
Yeah, merchandising opportunity.
right.
All the cartoons that you see that had toys based off of them, you can tell which ones were the 30-minute commercials because every time a character would walk on screen, they had to use their name. When they talked to them, it was their name every time. Get that name stuck in your head.
Wow, you're really smart, Wayne.
No,
If you've watched
Brainwashed.
the animated Transformers the movie, that's why they killed Optimus Prime, because they were just like, oh yeah, well, we just have to kill off the old characters so that kids will go buy all the new characters we're putting out.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works.
No.
It is 100%
they
how it
found out
works.
real quick.
Well, it's
Yeah,
how it
Optimus
works, but
Prime
that's
is
not
the
how it works. It doesn't.
Watch the toys that made us on Netflix. It's really
Exactly. That's what I'm referring to. But anyways, yeah. So it's Master of the Universe. That'll be sweet to see that come out. Not Star Wars, but it is still one of those things that's near and dear to our hearts, which are action figures and toys, collectibles, whatnot. Also, top news or top story this week: the astronauts Bob and Doug have returned from their 2-month what would you call it? Vacation? No, it wasn't
Definitely not a vacation.
No, it was a vacation from Earth, dude. How
That's-
terrible
that's
things
true,
are right
yeah.
now. For sure, they had to come back to this hellhole. But
I feel bad
I'm
for
glad they made it.
how much they have to work when they get up there, because like they get up there and they have every single second scheduled.
oh yeah,
And there's very, very little downtime. And I was thinking about what they actually have to do. Like, you're doing other people's science experiments. Like, you probably get like some papers like, all right, we're going to do some experiments with some lettuce. Like, I've never even seen this in my life. What am I supposed to do here? So it seems like kind of stressful to me.
have they talked about the experiments that they did while they were up there yet?
No, I mean, not that I've seen. I didn't really see I watched the launch really diligently, but I didn't watch when they came back down.
Really?
Oh man, dude! Not only did we
Awesome.
watch it when they came down, but we were at the lake, so we were on a boat waiting for them to splash down. It was awesome.
Yeah,
So
I don't think they were gonna splash down.
we
in the
thought
lake
maybe
or
we'd
anything.
see them, at the lake, but no cigar. But it was cool to. We were on
Did
the
you
boat.
see that they did screw up though? They didn't get enough of the National, or not the National Guard, the Coast Guard, and so people were just there in their boats. They showed up So there was the main boat that was there and the capsule and people just drinking beers and stuff in a circle around.
I did see that.
I
Yeah, they
didn't
were
get
like,
to see
Yeah,
that.
next time we're going to have to beef up the security a bit, it looks like.
That's great. Yeah, that's
I have to admit one thing. I didn't really follow it all that closely, so I just saw a whole bunch of people talking about Bob and Doug. My first thought was, "Oh, awesome! They're doing a reboot of Strange Brew."
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, when it was going up like that day, me and Vince were just Strange Brew jokes all day.
Yeah, I saw like, "Oh, Bob and Doug are returning," and I was like, "Oh, Strange Brew 2, yes!" 40 years later.
For us millennials, I suppose I should probably Google that.
It's a very
1983. Okay. All right. Rick Moranis.
Yes.
All right. I can get behind it.
It's very funny. It's very Canadian.
I might have to watch it. I love Rick Moranis.
He's the best.
Okay, then, yeah.
Yeah.
This is prime Rick Moranis.
It's
Max von Sydow?
Yeah, he's the villain. And
Wow. Okay. I'm definitely going to have to watch that.
I
There's our
don't
Star
want-
Wars tie-in.
I was gonna say I don't want to spoil it. There's a Star Wars tie-in. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Anyways,
So Bob and Doug, yes, everyone.
Yes.
Strange Brew. I mean, not Strange Brew. Now I'm getting confused. All right. Anyways, that was awesome. I really, I followed it as much as I could because I thought when they said, "Oh yeah, it'll be at 11 something," I was like, oh, "Okay, 11," and of course Pacific time. So at 11 o'clock, I was listening, and they're like, "It'll be 3 hours from now."
It was hard getting a gauge of just how fast they were talking about until it got down low enough to where you saw a cloud pass. When they're falling at 400 miles an hour, it was a thing to see. And to know that they threw out the first 2 parachutes and that dropped them down to about 100 miles an hour like that. And then they dropped those parachutes, let it go again and hit 4 and slowed it down to 16 miles an hour. That's got to be jarring.
Yeah, they said it was like a minor car crash or something.
It's like that episode of The Expanse where the dude goes through the portal.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that I used to, when I lived in California, we used to be able to hear the space shuttle when it landed? Because when the space shuttle would come back in the atmosphere, it would hit 2 sonic booms. So we could always tell when it was going to land because we could hear them.
And then they landed, and one of the guys rolled the windows down and was like, "Up yours, Paul!" Oh, they're back.
Yeah, they honked the horn as they passed over.
That's not what happens.
Hope we're not interrupting you, kids.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's about it for our top story. That was a few top stories. Moving on, though, we don't have any jingles for virtual reality yet, but we're going to have to get one because more and more stuff is going on. We've talked.
When are you going to get your VR headset? Go.
I'm going to put that in. That's great.
Please don't.
It's too late. You already have it recorded.
Yeah, see, Evan hates it. I mean,
it'll be accompanied by some
never putting anything out there like I am, but whatever.
It'll be accompanied by some great music. Don't worry. All right. Yeah. So we've talked about Vader Immortal. I think that's all we've done is talked about it. Evan, have you played it yet?
I actually looked it up on the Oculus store because you have to buy it through the Oculus store because I was like, okay, it's $10. Let's take a look at this.
So you saw it on the shelf.
It is $10 per episode, and there's 3 episodes. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to. I don't know how long they are, so I need to do a little bit more research to see if I'm.
I listened to a show talking about it. I want to say like 40 minutes each, maybe an hour each. It's $10. It's $30 total
for one. If you don't like it, you don't get the other 2.
Yeah, but once you start, you gotta go all the way through. Like it's Star Wars.
No.
It ties into Rise of Skywalker. It explains why Mustafar looks the way it does at the beginning.
We'll start a fund so everybody will pitch in. So
What's
that
it, the
Evan
Genesis Project?
so that Evan can pay for this.
No.
Vader
Yeah,
model.
the GoFundMe for Evan to play Star Wars VR games.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So Evan can go to the store in his Tesla and go pick it up.
You make me sick.
Yeah, using my Valve Index.
Yeah.
But there's
Before we started, Sean was telling us about how he got to try out what did he say it was, Paul?
It was like a
mixed reality headset by Microsoft.
It was a German company, as I know.
Yeah. But he was able to, I guess they use it for the I don't know what they use it for. We should have listened a little better. We should have had him on. We should have had him on to talk about it.
Was he talking about the HoloLens?
Yes, the HoloLens. Yeah, that's
the
it.
HoloLens is so cool. Did he tell you how much it costs?
It was like 4 figures, if I remember correctly.
$3,500.
Yeah.
Right.
Is this the guy who built a Boba Fett?
That's almost exactly how much I spent on my Boba Fett.
Exactly.
We're actually, I'm on like a small team at work who's investigating like VR and different mixed reality solutions for some stuff. And I'm on the VR side, but the augmented reality is what we would call the HoloLens. Mm-hmm. And some of the augmented reality you would think of like your Google Glass, like no, it's kind of died in like 2012.
Like Pokemon Go.
Yeah, sort of like Pokemon Go, but like the HoloLens is so many miles beyond what you would think of Google Glass. It's like just this amazing piece of hardware. I mean, the price tag is legit. Like it costs that because it's worth that. Not that I would most of the people who are going to buy the HoloLens, you're going to be using it in like an enterprise sort of solution where you're like in a manufacturing plant and you can see the innards of whatever you're looking at, like the inside of a rocket engine or something. You're not going to be using them to play video games.
Right here, right in here, right now. Heather doesn't know why her neck's tingling right there, but it is.
Oh man. Well,
Evan, if you're not going to get Vader Immortal, are you going to get the new VR thing they just announced, the Tales from Batu?
Great segue, Paul. Great job.
Yeah, well, I guess we should probably talk about what it is. You can tell me because I don't know what it is.
If only you had a computer right in front of you.
So what it is?
It's called Galaxy's Edge or something. Is it called?
Yeah.
It's called Tales from Galaxy's Edge. It is basically a virtual experience. I'm sure it's going to be multiple episodes with characters set on Batu. In between The Last Jedi and
Rise of
Skywalker.
So that's where the theme park is. If you go to Galaxy's Edge, well, when you can, and it's not half shut down because of virus, it's frozen in time on a date between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
And they've got new characters. One of them, which I thought was very interesting, is voiced by Saturday Night Live comedian Bobby Moynihan.
Oh, I love Bobby Moynihan.
Well, Bobby Moynihan's in Resistance.
Yeah, he did a voice in Resistance.
Well, I did not know. So he's already
who was
in the
he
Star
in
Wars
Resistance?
The shopkeep, the little pigly looking guy.
Yeah, with the owl guy. It was him and the owl guy. Yeah.
And the owl is Jim Rash, the dean from Community.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I would have loved to know that if I had watched Resistance after I watched Community. Oh, that would be great.
I thought what I found was great, but not as great as that.
I got to meet Bobby Moynihan at Celebration.
Really?
He was really nice. Yeah, he was really nice.
That's cool.
He seems like a really nice guy.
I saw Donald Faison walk into an elevator.
Yeah. Well, no, you pointed him out to me. I went up and talked to him. Donald Faison was awesome. He was really, really nice.
Wayne has no boundaries.
Well, no, I mean, when am I ever going to get a chance to see him again just to tell him, dude, I'm a huge fan? Like,
That's
he's
true.
Chocolate Bear. He'll always be Chocolate Bear.
I'm so bad around celebrities. I just like if I get around a celebrity, I just turn into like the world's most invisible man. I'm just like, don't look at me.
See,
I don't know
now-
what it
now
is. I'm
that's
like
the
a
thing.
turtle.
It also depends on the star, too. If it's somebody who I really, really like, I turn into and I can't go talk to them. Once that's set in and it's planted, it's growing, whether I want it to or not. I'm not talking.
Yeah, Wayne
I
gets
wanted
that
to
way
talk
around me
to-
sometimes.
I wanted
Yeah,
to talk to
sometimes.
Brian Posehn so bad at the cantina when I was at in LA, and like he was just getting swarmed by everyone, and I'm just like, I know. But I love Brian Posehn. I've watched him in like so many things over the
He's
decade
hilarious.
or two. I love him. He's so funny. I listened to the D&D podcast he did for years when I was in college, and yeah, he was just getting mobbed by people, and I was like, I don't want to be that guy. So I just kind of just took a blurry picture of him, and I sent it. I was like, hey, I'm at the same bar as Brian Posehn.
So, Evan, why were you in LA?
For the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker blue carpet premiere. Also, Grant
premiere.
Imahara, rest his soul, was also at that bar at the same
Drink.
Yeah.
time. Gunner's drinking like in the movies when someone's drinking the last couple of drops out of a canteen when they're trapped in the desert.
That is exactly what it looked like.
Wayne's over there drinking peanuts.
That's all I have. Forgot my other drink in there, and I've already gotten up once. I don't want to be that guy.
Either it's peanuts or very spoiled milk.
Ooh, chunky.
We call it cheese.
Yeah, but seriously, rest in peace, Grant. We all are fans.
Why you gotta bring it back to that?
I'm sorry, and you had to. You know what? But in all seriousness, it is sad, and
Yeah, so stop talking about it.
but gotta celebrate the guy's life. You know, really
And if
smart
it'll make
dude.
if it'll make you guys happy, I promise I'll get this Tales from Galaxy's Edge when it comes out. I don't know when it comes out.
I want to know about Vader Immortal.
You know what?
I guess
I'll
you've
be
already
right
skipped
back.
that.
It's not like
If
I'm
only
doing
you had the
anything
website
else.
open.
What?
If only you had the website open to look and see when it comes out.
It doesn't say, but I'm looking at this. I don't know.
Oh, Tales.
It just has a reveal video, but I don't know if the release date's in here. Let's do a little bit deeper Googling and see if we can figure out. Let's see. Tales from Galaxy's Edge release. Oh, no, we got a release date. Nope, not the 28th of July. That came and went.
That was the announcement. That was the announcement date.
Yeah, they made an announcement. I'm guessing that there's no release date yet. Oh, it says release later in 2020. So you know what I'll do? I'll buy the Vader Immortal one, and we can talk about each episode as like during each podcast. So I'll buy the first episode. We'll talk about it on the next podcast.
There you go.
Cross my heart, hope to die.
Okay, you don't have to do all that crap, but
Stick
you
a
are.
needle in my eye.
Don't do that. You are our designated virtual reality also fact checker. That's your new role, Evan. Young Evan. And with that, guys, I think that's just about it. Did anybody have any recommendations? Anybody watch anything cool? Anything interesting?
I'm just saving my money for Marvel's Avengers game, and I'll play that until Squadrons comes out.
I'm boycotting that game because they are withholding Spider-Man from Xbox players.
Sony.
And PC.
What?
PC doesn't count.
PS5, PS4 is the only one getting Spider-Man.
Yes.
PC's not
Boycott.
getting
Yeah, because that's Sony. It's the only way.
But Wayne, you have a PlayStation, don't you?
I do. I just never. Well, who am I going to play with? Oh, you guys are on Xbox.
That's true. Well, I'm not buying it, so.
Yeah.
Wayne will have
Refuse.
That sounds cool, though. That sounds cool.
I'll say, if we mentioned it several times, if you haven't watched Resistance, watch Resistance. It's
Suffer through the first season to get to season 2.
it's a different flavor than Clone Wars and Rebels. It's a little slower. It's maybe aimed at a younger audience.
Sillier.
But yeah, it does have a good story. There's good characters. It does fill in a lot of First Order stuff. You kind of get an idea of what the First Order is doing before The Force Awakens.
That makes it totally worth it for me. Like getting to see Hux's speech from a different point of view and seeing that, like the Starkiller base firing from another point of view, that right there just makes watching the whole thing worth it. And there's a lot of cool stuff in season 2.
And it's beautifully animated. It looks amazing.
Yes, I love the animation. I think I might like the animation more than Clone Wars. I like the way that it just seems to pop. It kind of is sort of like cell shaded. I want to say like a comic.
Yeah,
sounds awesome. And that's Resistance.
Yeah, 2 seasons. They're both on Disney Plus.
Yeah. And another recommendation: Thursday, Star Trek Lower Decks. Ooh.
I'll be watching.
Get out here. I might look into that too. All right.
Yeah, Gunnar, you would love Star Trek Lower Decks because it's made by the same guy who did season 4 Rick and Morty.
Oh, cool. Yep, I just finished that actually. That was a good season. Actually, yeah. If you can afford it, because you got to pay for it, you got to go on Amazon. Check out season 4 of Rick and Morty.
I still haven't caught up. I have the last, like the second half of the season recorded on my DVR, but I haven't watched it.
Have you at least seen the one where where Rick goes to his own private world to poop?
Yes, I did see that one.
I love the scene where they go to the heaven and the guy jumps out of the toilet and he's like, "Hey, you gonna join us in the pooping?" It is so freaking weird and stupid. See, we like these guys. Wayne, I thought you were a fan.
I am. I just haven't seen that. I'm
oops. Sorry.
No. What I'm doing is I'm putting my mind in somebody who's never seen that show, and I'm trying in my mind to explain it. Based off of what you're saying there, you're gonna join us in the pooping? No, really.
Watch it though, because that's what he does.
Yeah. Please watch.
You just gotta watch it because that's literally what he does, and that's what's gonna get all the people going. Everyone's gonna want to watch it because I said that.
I only watched one episode of Rick and Morty.
Which one?
The first one.
Oh,
that's good.
I can tell you the one that got me hooked. The one that got me hooked.
It's a little shallow.
Mr. Meeseeks.
That's what got you hooked.
Mr. Meeseeks, look at me.
No.
Yeah, it's good.
Right now for animation, I'm loving the Harley Quinn show.
Yeah.
It's the most foul-mouthed, blood-soaked, amazing, hilarious cartoon.
Nice.
Is it like Celebrity Deathmatch?
It makes me miss Metalocalypse.
Oh, that was such a good. I love that show just for the music.
Yeah, it's all
Death
the DC.
Clock.
It's in DC canon. So I mean, you have Batman and Joker and Superman and Wonder Woman and all them, but it's centered on Harley Quinn and everything that she does.
Nice.
It's really, really good and really fun.
Nice. Actually, now that you mention it, well, Harley Quinn. I don't know, more Kevin Smith talk, but he has a daughter named Harley Quinn, and she has started her own podcast. I don't know if you guys have heard about it or if you are vegan, but she started her own vegan podcast. If you are familiar with Kevin Smith, he had a heart attack a couple years ago and turned completely vegan.
He's mentioned it once or twice.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, and he's joins his daughter on the podcast. They'll start the first kind of little monologue thing before talking about the guests they're going to have on, and then it'll go into Harley Quinn, who actually does the interview with a either like a expert or a professional in the vegan
I'm
world.
so hoping you're going to say with a celery stick.
that is to come, yes. But no, it's pretty interesting. Even if you're not vegan, I'm not saying it's going to turn you, but the stuff they talk about is pretty interesting. And then also just having the personalities on there, it makes it entertaining. So that's what I just discovered. I think they're on like episode 6, and they've been making episodes at least once a week, I think. So he even announced it at the end of that evening with Kevin Smith when he mentions all the Master of the Universe stuff. That's where I caught on to it. But it's pretty interesting. So if you're vegan and you're looking for a podcast, this has got a lot of stuff that's interesting. They say their motto, what is that noise, by the way? What was that noise?
Red
I heard it too. I don't know who that was.
It
I
sounded
think there
like
was a motorcycle in Wayne's house.
oh, okay.
The rednecks, man. It's got to be the most expensive thing to be. It's just in what you're getting charged every month in gas that you're burning from, and in tires when you finally do peel out, brakes when you have to slam on them from going 80 miles an hour a block. It's just got to be the most expensive hobby in the world.
And they're proud to call them gas guzzlers.
Actually, they're very gas conscious. When I rode, my Sportster got like 50 plus miles to the gallon.
Good for you.
I didn't ride for that. I ride because it was fun, and then I stopped riding because I almost died. So trade-offs.
Right. Well, yeah.
And then he's like, hey, I think I'm going to dress as a Star Wars character.
Trade-off indeed.
I would not have been in the 501st if I had not gotten in an accident, because that was my hobby. It was just when I gave up my motorcycle riding, I was like, I need a new hobby. And so I found the 501st.
Wow. That's a beautiful story.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad that you're off of motorcycles. Those things are dangerous.
Yes.
I turned over a Harley once and put a dent in the top of the gas tank.
My bike, even though I got hit at 30 miles per hour and I broke my collarbone and my scapula, and I spent 3 months in physical therapy, the bike was untouched. Ridiculous. Wow. Okay, it had a bent. I think it had bent forks, which my brother replaced for like $40 or something. I think one of the foot pegs was jacked up, but for the most part, it was.
So you're thinking about getting another one?
It was mostly untouched.
What he's saying is he ended up more broken than the bike.
All right, they did
it sounds
total
like it.
But that's because it was like a $400 bike.
Well, that's a $400
Was it a
bike.
Huffy?
That's interesting.
Was it a Huffy
Yeah,
brand?
what is that? What the hell? You said it had a motor on it, right?
Yeah. All right, I
Yeah,
said
it was
motorcycle, but really what I meant was moped.
Yeah. Or a dirt bike.
The scooter.
No, but we're glad that you made it through the physical therapy and you're not on those bikes anymore, buddy.
Yes.
Glad you're in the helmet. All right, well, if that's it for everybody, you know where to find us. We're on YouTube. We are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Yeah, that's it. Also, the Serenno Squad, you can find the Instagram page. I think is it Serenno Squad? I always forget.
It's like 501st
Or is it Garrison
Legion.
Tyrannus?
I think it's 501st Sereno Squad.
Yes.
I need like a post-it or something to like.
If you search Sereno Squad, it should be the only thing that comes up.
Yeah.
Posting pictures of Legion members.
If it's not, please let us know.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I was so happy to be able to actually post pictures from a troop the other day.
It's true. It felt good. I took some of those pictures. So, but anyways, thank you guys for coming on, and thank you everybody for listening. And we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.